This is Storie Grubb. I realize the only time I drink water is when I'm going on my live streams and it gives me an excuse to drink the water. So if you're out there and you need some encouragement in order to drink more water, now's your aqua tuner D. It was a water joke. Free of charge. Thinking about making a puppet someday. Recording it all, maybe. And releasing the footage, if that's what you want to call it, as a box set. Where hopefully, hey Daniel, I see you. Hopefully, one or two people buy it, and that would be enough to sustain me and my family for about 3 or 4 years. But that's if I get 5 to 6 people to watch it. Therein lies the problem. So, I just want to rock and roll. That's all. I just want to rock and roll. At least that's what I think. Every once in a while when I'm thinking about it. Well, getting tagged to you too. I really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. I dig your energy. It really warms my bucket list, my bucket seat. It's hard to articulate. When people are kind, it's just hard to show them how much it means to you when people are actually kind to you. Kindness is not a weakness. It can fill you with joy. It can fill you with rage, which is what it usually does for me. When somebody's joyous towards me, I get filled up with rage. I don't know why. Deutschland. I'm from California, Cali land. Cali. It don't matter. Who cares, right? I know. And that was a tale I used to tell my own grandchildren. 20 years ago, I would tell them, hey, don't forget, when you're crossing the road, you look both ways, you look for that damn chicken that they're all talking about. And ask that chicken. Everybody comes across that chicken at some point in their life, and you get to ask that chicken the question, why in the hell are you crossing the road? And when each and every single one of you finds out why that chicken is crossing, then you've crossed into another form. You've evolved into another sort of deity type figure that's really got it down to the bone. You understand why the egg before the chicken, or what, however that expression. Who cares, right? All I'm trying to say is you're special. You're a unique little egg, and I like you. So yeah, I say, yeah, do what you want. Go, put a mask on. Go hit up your local grocery store. Whatever you gotta do, stay alive because it's coming. There's a big zombie apocalypse coming. It's getting kind of gross. Uh, the weed there is great. Oh, in Germany, you guys have that in Germany? I guess I never thought about that. Other people, other countries, doing the same sort of stuff that we do. What the hell? What? Huh? That's pretty neat to think about. That's just one more thing that connects us, and disassociates us and stuff. Yeah. So it's why we write songs, bro. It's how we stick together. It's the glue that binds us, right? It's there's something about rock and roll and just being true to your rock and roll soul and your rock and roll bones that really brings out the side of you that most people wouldn't want to think about out loud. Not to say that it's bad to keep things to yourself, but don't you want to share these tragic visions that you have inside your noggin there? It's just it's quite awful, and it's sometimes good to know that you're not alone in the awfulness, I suppose. But I I don't like supposing anything. So it's not in my character to suppose. I want things black and white, and I want them right now, including answers, real or not, fake or not. I don't care. I just want to rock and roll. Like this. Oh wait, shit. Oh god. Rockin', rockin', rock and roll. Going through my bloody soul. Rock and roll. Oh, oh, rock and roll. And it goes on for like 27 minutes. I'm gonna sit here and rock and roll. I'm gonna tear out your bloody soul. Yeah, rock and roll, 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 and it goes on for another like 17 minutes, but you get the picture. I hope you do, anyways, because it's hard having all of this talent and not being able to put it into some kind of little lamp that somebody could rub, so they come out and then they get the talent, you know. Maybe I want to go on a cruise ship and just float for a few days and stuff. Get lost at sea, maybe. Become somebody else. Get swallowed by a fish, for crying out loud. Stranger things have happened. But I'm just not sure if I'm quite there yet either. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's down. I don't know what's side to side. But I do know one thing. Rock and roll, baby. It's you either feel it in your bones, right? It's the marrow. It's the sticky, moist, disgusting marrow that exudes and sweats and beads out of your body when you're rocking and rolling. Sorry, it's getting a little descriptive. The point is rock and roll all the way. All right, rock and roll. There's an old poem that I wrote, and it goes like this. Rock and roll all day. Rock and roll save the day. That's it. This is just a really short poem. But I wrote that about 37 years ago when I first discovered that a rock actually truly can roll. And it all made sense to me after that. Everything that I was missing from my life came together on that day. I remember that day. It was a Tuesday. And I've never looked at Tuesdays the same ever again either. Never underestimate Tuesdays, my friends. It's gross. It's disgusting. Okay? All right. I gotta read some of these comments here. Sorry if I'm like offending anybody. I'm not trying to on purposely, not. But if I did, I wouldn't mean to anyways either. So, sorry. Okay, you look like Kurt Cobain with the glasses and wig. Bro, these aren't glasses. These are my eyes. This is definitely a wig, but these are actually my eyes. I All I look for is mutual respect on my channel. I mean, and if you're gonna make fun of my eyes, well then you're in, buddy. Join the club. Like and subscribe, dude. We're gonna be doing this all night. We're gonna be rocking and rolling all night. I got head and eyes front of my face all the time. And why do I feel lonely? Why do I feel so sad? Am I the only one who's here? Yes, I am. That was a song I wrote just then, and it was called Yes, I Am. I wrote it because I needed to, because I had to, because I must. Not because I had to, or it was like I must do it, but I had to just do it. I must have just wanted to do it because I did it, and that's what it was. It's plain and simple. It's not worth describing where songs come from. It's just a matter of how they fit into your life, how they come into play, and how they really come alive. And I like to think that music is kind of a gift like that, whether you're listening to it or you're making it. And whether you like it or not, you're always making it anyways, because you've got a beating heart inside of you that's always just plumping away. Clunkily, plunkily, popping, pooping. Hearts are crazy. At least mine is. I collect checks every month because of it. Little crazy joke. These are not my hands. Wait, whoa. What did you put in the tea? Who put that what in the ha? Who? Huh? Who put the who in the honga hong? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions for the hair? You can ask now. This is just a blonde wig backwards, and I'm parting through the back of the hair. But it makes for a... I was thinking it looked more like a... I was trying to like just look for like a generic 90s grunge dude, but I also look like the dude from Soul Asylum. He was an interesting cat, that guy. That was not what I intended to play. I was trying to play rock and roll, give me back my rock and roll, but that's what you got instead. Let's see. How's everybody? Hey, Aaron. Sonic Youth, yeah. The Blues had a baby named Rock and Roll. Oh, yeah. Muddy Waters, yeah. I know, and those are the roots of rock and roll. And then I always think about, how different styles came together. Like a lot of Celtic, like Irish music mixed with like Mexican music and made these cool sounds. And I don't know. I think a lot more has come from the melting pot than what we're given with like just standard boring pop country stuff. I'm not a big critic with music. I think there's music for everybody out there, but it's just, I love outlaw country music and all the old people that actually were standing up they would stand up for the right reasons and look out for their fellow man and fellow Americans, instead of turning on them. It's just a shame. it's an interesting time to be an artist because sometimes you don't want to. I don't really have a dog in the fight because it's like they're not fighting for me. Nobody's fighting for my ass. So I might as well fight for my neighbors and stuff, you know. But then you realize your neighbors are falling for all that bullshit that these people are feeding them, and it makes you feel very lonely in the world sometimes. When all these people just want to join these tribes, fight, and argue about lines in the sand. It's like we're only here for like minutes on this planet, and life is so much more than the squabbles we bathe in. I don't, and it's just so clicky and trendy and gross. I look up to people that are individuals and can think for themselves, and I follow leaders that can actually do the same. And we got none of that. It's just a big, and the only people that suffer is the people at the bottom, who have all the power. By the way, you know. So that's a political statement for the day. Besides this next doozy, stay tuned on 101 Storie Grubb Draws FM. Hey, Tony, are we off? Can you? Yeah, we're good? Okay. Boy, I'm having the time of my life tonight. Oh, it's still on? Oh, it is still on. Yeah. We can't pause it? Oh, I thought you could just pause it. Yeah, or mute it or something. Or put on like an AI version of me to entertain them and tell better jokes. Can you do that yet? Oh, you can? Can we do that instead? So I don't have to sit here and talk and look like an idiot? Yeah, you're fired, by the way. Yeah, get the hell off my lawn, Ricky. Get out of here, you son of a... I'm always impressed by the way how quietly my employees exit. They just don't make any noise at all. Huh. Yeah. Did I make a mistake? I didn't mean to fire Ricky, everybody. Shh, no, don't talk. Don't talk. Just sign language. Okay. No, you're making a better point. Thank you. I love the hair too. Yeah, I'm gonna dye it next time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it. Yeah. It's alive. It's talking to me. I can hear it. Right. It's whispering. But the wig is whispering sweet, evil visions into my brain, y'all. I didn't sign up for. Whoa, that's a doozy. Okay, this is getting a little confusing. I'm sorry, everybody. It wasn't my it wasn't my plan to do this. But now that we're here, might as well. I don't wanna grow up, mama. I don't wanna grow up today, mama. I wanna stay in bed. I don't wanna go to school today, mama. I don't wanna eat the pizza they're serving in the cafeteria. It made me sick to my stomach, mama. I'm scared to go to recess with the other kids because they're gonna tie me up and throw bricks at me, mama. Mama. I think I pooped my pants, mama. Running fast away from the other kids today at school, mama. I've got poop running down my leg, mama. That was a song that I wrote when I was about 4 years old, when I just joined kindergarten, the cult of the kindergarten. Crazy. That was the best summer of my life. But also the worst disaster in the history of man happened that day. We realized that there was a sun and that we could harness its energy. And And we went too far, everybody. We went just a little bit too far. And well, we can't go back anymore now. We can't go back. So that's why we gotta join forces now, so we can go forward today. Ow, son of a bitch, mama. I call my guitar mama, I just, in case you're wondering. Oh, God, gosh darn day. Hold on here. Let me read some of the Ghost Riders in the Sky. Dropkick Murphys, yes, ooh, that's a good one. Roots Rock Reggae, Daniel, I got you right there. I was just talking about the Wailers the other night. There's a song. There's a few different versions of it that are really good. There's a song called "Small Axe." I never knew. I remember hearing it when I was about 18 and 19. I had this cassette. My friend. I don't even know how I ended up with it, but my friend left it at my house or something, and I just started listening to it. And the songs are really old sounding. They don't sound like they were recorded. It just sounds like it was recorded in somebody's bedroom, basically. But the songs are just amazing. And the song "Small Axe" is on it, and that one really moved me. There's a few songs on that album that moved me a lot. And I love it when music has more to say than just look at me. You know, I like when people they harness the energy of music, and they can do wonderful things with it and inspire people and remind people of what it's like to be alive and how to feel alive and how to embrace the light. We've all got the darkness, but it can be very hard to reach the light sometimes. And music, in its many frequencies and tones and rhythms, and it's all written in the stars. We just get to experience it out of these little shells for a while. And then after this, we go and experience it in something else. And if not, we don't. People argue about the weirdest stuff too. So much weird stuff in the world. Where's my drink? I've got poppy gills in the oven if anybody wants one. We got some poppy gills. We got some slippy slops. We ran out of buns, so you're just going to have to grab the slippy slop with your hands and just, yeah. Got plenty of napkins, but we don't have the frickin' buns. Don't believe me, a few heads rolled for that little... Wait, that was my mistake. I forgot to get the buns. It wasn't my fault. The grocery stores were closed. I couldn't find any. I looked all over. Yeah, you like that was good? Okay, thank you. Okay. Happy Friday, everybody. Well, hello, child. It's that's not what I was going for at all. First of all, Kurt wore he had like a yellow one and like a red one. He didn't have a green one, and Kurt had hair, but this isn't his. I know that for a fact. It's not his. It's not his hair. So I know that for a fact, and I know that he had glasses just like these, but these are more round instead of more. His were more oval, and then my skin is totally different too. I'm actually moon Martian. I'm not of this world, so we didn't even have the same skin. If you look really close, there's like scales. It's really gross, but I don't want to do that to you. So I'm just trying to say I'm not. What was the question again? I know, I'm just goofing off. I like dressing up. I want to do a thing next year maybe where it's like the 31 days of Halloween and just like do all these different costumes every day or something. And by then I'm going to be living in Portland, and it's crazy to think. what's all the stuff that's gonna be so much different in just a matter of months. But I'm preparing for it. I'm mentally preparing for it. But also my name is Smirt. It's not Kurt. It's Smirt Bobane. I know it's like a weird propane. Smirt propane. No, it's Smirt Bobane. So it's I'm nothing like who Kurt who what I don't. Kurt, as you are. I don't even like those guys. Shh. I hate meeting people like that. Beatles, whatever. They weren't even good. Oh, that band? Ugh, God, kill me. It is like, no, actually, that band was really fucking good. I definitely like Nirvana. I remember in '95 when I was out mowing. I was like 15. I'd be out like, mowing people's lawns and listening to them in my headphones because I was obsessed with them at that point. That was when I started playing guitar and everything too. But um, uh, I would like scream the freaking words while I was mowing the lawn because that was the only time I could ever like scream really loud and people wouldn't hear me because the mower was so loud. But anyways, I was inspired by all that music. Eventually, it was sometimes it's like Pink Floyd that gets you into other music, or it was Nirvana that got me into different kinds of music, and that led me down to different avenues, and eventually led me to be like to the Pixies, and so, like I remember hearing Surfer Rosa for the first time, and I was just like, "What is this?" I didn't. Sometimes I don't like my favorite bands. I didn't even like at first because it was just so different to my. It was just such a shock to my system. I was like, "What is this?" And then I do a little bit of research or a little, you know, digging on them and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is okay." And then an hour later, they're my favorite band. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. I'm sure everybody does has a weird ritual when it comes to discovering new music or falling in love with something just clicks and you just understand it or you're in the right moment at the right time or and that song hits you. Even if it's a song like this happens all the time. Even if the song is one I've heard 1,000 times. One day I just hear it differently and I'm struck, you know. That's what I love about art. That's what I love about music. It can literally change you, and especially when you remember things with it. The power of smell and sound and melody, in as far as remembering and um, yeah, like recalling certain memories and past experiences, even past lives, if you believe in that sort of thing. I call you Herb Cobain. That's funny. Well, I love you. I love you. Thank you. Do you listen to garbage? Like the band? Or are you just saying do you listen to garbage? And I listen to garbage a lot. I used to I used to work for the sanitation department up until about 2 days ago. Until I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. You get it? I'm not even supposed to be talking about it. I don't know why I brought it up. But I guess the cat's out of the bag. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, what was it? Huh? What? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Next question. I haven't listened to. I've listened to a lot of them, but it's been a long time. My older brother listened to a lot of different stuff, and introduced me to like Bjork and Tori Amos, and he liked Garbage, so I listened to a lot of Garbage because of him. Be on car rides, and he would have control of. It was his car, so he would play what he wanted, and um, and of course now it's when I listen to certain songs that he would listen to, he and I would listen to. It makes me miss him. So I have these attachments. Like the older I get, the more I appreciate all that old stuff even more. Um, I haven't listened to them in a while, but I like their music. I like them a lot. You're dying? Well, I think we're all dying, so I think we're all dying. But that's okay. My life is about living, and dying just is part of it, part of living. But you can live too. So get busy living or get busy trying. Death death is just there all the time, just waiting anyways. Mm. What an interesting life it's been too. I feel like if I were to go, if I didn't wake up tomorrow, I would have had I would have an interesting story to tell. Because people surprise me, you know. There's good people out there, and they're trying to do good things. And they'll always be out there doing good things and trying to do good things. And as easy as it is to poop all over the world and everybody in it, I can never go all in with that kind of stuff. There's always going to be this stupid, optimistic child inside of me that thinks we could do better and be better. It doesn't take much. It just takes a little listening and listening to other people's concerns and getting down to it. And like I've said before, if it's somebody wanting to take your livelihood away, of course, that's a little bit of a different story. Of course, it's going to get heated. But I don't think everybody is the enemy either. I think people have gifts that they keep from the world because they're too scared to let people know. And life is a freaking dream. I was thinking about that this morning. Oh, it's just a freaking dream. I can think of things that I said and did with people when I was like 16 years old, and it feels like it was 2 days ago. and it's just incredible how fast it all goes, like a blink of an eye. It got really depressing around here. I'm sorry about that. Get a face reveal. What? This isn't good enough? What do you mean? What's my swag? Well, I got this off a dead man after I killed him. I got these pants. Ow. I got these pants at the shoe store. And the funny thing is, I got those shoes at the pants store. I don't know what happened there. I got mixed up in the fray. But and then of course I'm wearing 100% cotton and lamb wool underwear. It's still with the little it's so fresh, the wool, that it has the stickers from the field that the lamb was in mixed into it, so it's like kind of itchy. But It's it's the style. God damn. I'll get over it. But I think if we're gonna talk about one, we can't help but talk about the other. Other than that, I like to shop at McFrugal. It's a store where things are kind of just a little bit cheaper than other places, but the quality is still manageable. All right, right. So that's all I've got. I guess that's all I had. Golly gosh darn dang! I'm sorry, everybody. This is the end. Oh, I don't know where I'm going from here, but I'll tell you this much: I'm rock and rolling all the way there, baby. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, in other news, I think it's a wonderful thing that it's fall, and it's this time of year because this time of year is kind of magical to me. It's my season. It's the season of the witch, baby. Oh yeah, 1,000%. No, I just love this time of year when things start kind of changing and the wind starts getting a little chillier, and you get to cozy up in bed at night a little bit cozier. It's gonna be an interesting winter. But yeah, now I feel like it's changing. Gotta change the tape here pretty quick. I would love to have you as an uncle. Hey, well, there you go. I always catch you late. Hello, Denise. Can we? No, and then what's your? I would love to. Dude, bug, doodle bug. Yeah, I thought I was the cool uncle, but I guess I wasn't. A lot of my, a lot of my family doesn't speak to me, so it's a lot of what I do out here and what I say, and it's it's a way for me to forget about a lot of my regular life, and it's a place I wish that people would come to get away from that too, because I shouldn't even be bringing it up. It's just kind of hard sometimes not to, but yeah. I've met some cool people through the stream and this dream, and on this site, especially over the past year and a half since I've been back at this kind of stuff, and I've gone through a lot of changes, and things are gonna be changing again, and then as life does, life changes. Just got just can't be surprised when it does. Can't let it let it fool you, like sneak up on you. Just gotta accept it, to a degree. I feel like an NPC right now or something. I'm just like, oh, oh, you remind me of Salad Fingers. salad fingers. I think somebody said that a long time ago, and I looked it up and I started laughing. Plus, I think the name is funny as well. I was working on this drawing. I think I started a few days ago. This little drawing. Some kind of weird little happening on this happening little box thing. Can you see it? I promised everybody earlier that we were going to go ghost hunting. Hello, Petra. We were going to go ghost hunting, but I don't think my producers would really like that because, I would be revealing secrets that I wasn't even allowed to reveal. Oh, I think I'm going to throw up. If I do, don't say I didn't warn you. When I was growing my hair out today, I was thinking about this very thing, about how the body will reject things once it gets into the system because it goes against, everything it means to have it inside their body. They just want it out. That's usually when people vomit. You get whatever's in their stomach out, or in their throat out, as we know. But in the background, something else is going on. Yeah, that's right. The ghosts and the demons are sneaking into those little elements in your stomach and in the bacteria that's in your gut. And that's why we need good probiotics to get us through the day most of the time, because if we don't, those little demons they turn into many demons, and then they go out and they make more demons. And so you got to get them at their gut, is what I say, and prove to yourself and to your community that you can keep their guts and your guts safe. I used to be called the gutter man. I would hand out notes and give out advice about how to deal with demons that were hiding in your gut. But these days, usually pretty much everyone knows about it. And so it's worth just sort of talking about it, because if we don't, people might people might forget. And so it's important to talk about this kind of stuff and make sure that people just sound good, because if don't, people aren't going to use it. I wrote that back in Hawaii 2. And I wrote that back in Hawaii 3. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Doodle. Thank you. Is epic Spanish for pickle? I'm not sure what that means. I take it that's a compliment, I think. A pickle? Or is that a book in the Bible or something? Which Bible are we talking about? Oh my gosh, I'm kind of lost. I just came here to do two things: eat some bubble gum, swallow it, and poop it out. I guess that's 3 steps, but that was one thing. And then the second thing, I just want to surf. I came here to talk about surfing, and you're talking about pickles. I'm not sure what we're doing here. Yeah, also remind Garth from Wayne's World, which is also who I'm being for Halloween. Hey, that's cool. He's my uncle. Yeah. I would love to see that movie again too. There's an all-star cast in that one right there too. Sounds like a horse. It does have a nice kind of percussive sound to it. But with this one, I think I'm gonna add black around the back and a little border. I could finish it maybe, but I would just be filling it in. Maybe draw the wings a little bit more. Have the wings coming out. Anyways. Hey, T-shirt. How are you? You're looking good as always. It's great to see you. Great to see everybody, to be honest. I think it's a blessing in disguise, mostly disguise. I'm alive. I'm alive. Locked outside my house, locked outside the gym. I'm alive. I don't have a room to pee in. So I'm peeing in the bushes. I'm peeing in the shadows. I'm peeing behind your house. I'm looking for the greenest meadows to pee in. Just trying to pee, y'all. That's all. That was based on a time when I was living in England for the past 30. That was about 39 years ago, and I was about 29 at the time. And holy cow, people! I didn't even know there was such a thing as England until I was living there. And so I passed out in Seattle somewhere, and then I woke up in England, and I lived there for 37 years. And then I was stuck at the Rock of Gibraltar for 2 years. There was a cave somewhere in there, and I slipped and I fell and ended up in this cave hanging out with a bunch of Neanderthals who had thrived by digging underground tunnels that led to the center of the hollow earth theory. And it was pure chaos from there, I'm telling you. But it was sick. It was absolute madness, sickness, and everybody was down with it. Everybody was absolutely down with it. I know I was, because I was down. I was 100% down. But that's another story for like another time, which is happening right now. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and then we. Just kidding. So, that's how I write songs, because if I don't, the people from the underworld are going to come up and get me and bring me back down to the upper world. I get it all twisted up sometimes. Sometimes I don't know if we're up or down and what we're doing up here. I do know that some of them from down there got loose on up here. And they're trying to take over stuff, and they're doing a pretty darn good job of it too, if you don't know my smell again. I don't want to talk about it very much, but I can't help it. You're down. What do you mean by that? You're down. Are you a demon? A daemon. That would be funny if there was like just like an underground civilization and people thought it was hell, and then you go down there and they were like sending people there that were being punished for like horrible things. You're going to hell! And they like put you through this cave, and then you come out, you go down this waterfall or something, and the people think they're like, punishing people, but they come out the waterfall at the other side, and they're just in this like paradise where they live forever and all their dreams come true and stuff. They're like, oh, this is hell? What this? Holy heck. Holy gosh darn heck. This is neat. See, these are the kind of movies that I would like to make with William Spielberg. Great poet, great director, absolute legend, boss. Huh? What the? Ooh. How is it that you say the F word? I don't understand that. I just now realized that you said it. Was it you that did it last time and got away with it? Because I honestly don't know how you do it. Somebody yesterday said something super. There was like nothing to it, and they like held the message for review or something. But you said, I'm always impressed when people get away with it, but I can't remember if it was you that did it the first time. Because as far as I could tell, only one person had done it before that I saw. That's not how that song goes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, it's one big old puppet show. I got a bubble in my throat. You hear that? I got a bubble in my throat, gosh dang it. Really wasn't trying to scare anybody away with that bubble, but sometimes the bubble happens. And you just gotta bubble through it. Hey. I didn't know the battery was so low. There we go. Alright, everybody. How many minutes have we been? I could draw for a minute. Hold on a second. I gotta mute it while I move, yeah. What the devil? I don't know if that'll work or not. I think it will. This show is called Storie Grubb Draws. The least I could do is draw. You might have to adjust your settings because I'm talking a lot closer to the phone now, though. Just in case you care about that sort of thing. Sometimes I talk loud. Sometimes I talk proud. And sometimes I talk in a crowd. You can't blame me for trying. That's all I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. There we go. Just adding a little, maybe a level of wings there, feathers, fingers, salad fingers. Because eventually I am going to just put black around it, but I'm going to fit this all nice and cozy. And then highlight things like that. It's hard to draw on it because my hand has nowhere to rest. I could put a book there or something, but I'm just too lazy. There we go. It's a little bit different. I actually like this little area. Perfect. There we go. Add a little shading down here. Right under there. Bring that down like a clown. Oop! Earthquakes, everybody. I live in California. Lo siento. Lo siento, everybody. There we go. Perfect. Hold still. Hold still, baby. There we go. Exactly. Hello, Latte. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Doing well. As you can see, I'm having the time of my life. Oh, I've been better. I've been butter. I've been letter. I've been letter. But one thing I haven't been is complacent. And, well, I don't like operating in the third dimension, but if I must, I must. You know what I mean? I wish the same for you, my friend. Because, as I was saying earlier, 22,000 years ago, when I was born, the sky didn't look like this. And this is where the sky demons came into play. And I really don't want to talk about that much because, well, that's just a long, long story. I don't think I'm getting the right cue cards. Are those the right cue cards? Because what I just said did not make any sense for my character. What dimension are we in? No, we're in 3. Are we in 3? No, we're in 6. We're in 6? Are we in the 6th dimension? Or are we in the 3rd dimension, everybody? 3. I don't think that's true. What year is it? 2025. What? 2025. Oh, 2025. Well, I think that's the 6th, right? So that means all of what I just said, that was the wrong cue cards. How did we get the dimension cue cards mixed up? I don't know. Wait, can you please find out and have them fired? Thank you. I'm hungry. I need some knowledge. Even if I have to steal it from their brains. I eat the people that we fire around here. I eat their brains. I don't know if you guys didn't know that or not, but I do. Yeah, we're in the 6th dimension. I'm sorry, friends. What I just said was, I'm telling you, cue card boy, we're gonna eat his brains. That's all. Other than that, it's been pretty good lately. Things are good. Yeah. There we go. Happy little critter. Critter from another litter. That's for sure. It's almost just so perfect how it is. All right. 25th dimension again. Oh my god. Not again. This chair makes a sound when I sit in it. Sounds like I'm tooting. And I can promise you this, friends. It's not every day that I toot. I'm not a tutor. I promise you that. So, yeah, that's the basics, you know. That's the oh my gosh, oh gosh, that's the gist. I just wanted to say thank you to my fans, my glorious tutors. I mean my hooters, whatever. I don't know. And just remind you that tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's probably like a Thursday or something like that somewhere. And you don't have many Thursdays left. Um, it's getting in my hair. It's kind of gross. But you don't have many Thursdays left, so you might want to go out there and really just enjoy your Thursday night. For me, I mean, from all the people here at Storie Grubb, thanks for tuning in. I know it's Wednesday here, but tomorrow it's Thursday, and today it's Thursday somewhere else because for somebody else, it's just not worth mentioning. Mm-mm. But there are roach hotels in my closet that I gotta go check out and stuff. And then if I can't find, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of the night. Probably like think about catching roaches and stuff like that, like I usually do. The only time I go live and stop thinking about roaches is when I do my live streams and when I'm taking a shower, because when I'm in the shower I think about snakes. I just think about snakes. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's like I'm thinking about the reptoids and insectoids. And to be honest, I think they're all full of crap. I don't want to vote for any one of them this next election. So it can be hard out here for a homie, for a pimp, for a gangster. But I do my part. I'm grateful with what I got. Um, I have 100K in the safe over there. A little goblin sitting on top to guard it. You're doing a great job, by the way, Teddy. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Welcome, sir. See, he's he's down. Um, and he protects the money. I also have some gold medallions in there, some like ancient beating heart from some creature that's an immortal being or so. I don't even know what it's about, but it's in there. And it's kind of like the telltale heart. It's just like constantly beating, and I'm just like, shut that thing up. But it's in there. And then I have the bones of Jenny McCarthy in there. They were eaten by roaches. Those famous roaches I was just telling you about. It's one of those things where when you start talking about it, you just can't stop talking about it, like roaches. I love talking about cockroaches. I think they're hideous and tragic and beautiful little misunderstood little beings. And I'm here for it. hmm I don't know what happened to my remote control, but I had a remote control for like a drone that I sent into outer space, and it's supposed to be back tonight, and I have to go out to the airfield and pick it up. So that's what I'm doing tonight. That's what I do. That's where I'm going. In case anybody wants to meet me out there, the Air Force is latitude 76 and longitude 1995. It's way out there, baby. It's deep inside the earth too, and I think they call that the intratude. Is the inside the earth, and it's about 55 miles inside the earth. It's a beautiful place down there too, but it's where I get all my fresh plums. They have the greatest plum trees, but it's really flat as well. It's a flat earth inside the earth. It's just kind of weird and confusing. Yeah, you try to tell this to people, and they're like, "Well, you're one of them flat earthers," and I'm like, "Well, the earth is pretty flat inside the earth," and they say, "Oh, you're one of them," and I'm like, "What? No, you don't understand." Until you describe it to them, and then you actually show it to them. You drug them and take them to the inner earth where you can show them how flat it is, and then everything's fine after that. Uh, all wounds are just washed off like a twig on the shoulders of a mighty stream, friends. And I think that's what it's all about. That's how we can come together, join forces at the hip, like that Centipede movie. I don't know, and just try to combat evil as best as we can, while we can, for love, for freedom, and
for homemade enchiladas. They're the best. Besides homemade tamales, homemade enchiladas. Mm, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, you said it, not me. I was just saying the word. I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't even have a context for it, even though I totally described the human centipede. It's on you now. Oh, right. You ever look at the sky, look at the stars, and see your name in it? It's so cool. And then it comes down and pokes your eye out. So rad. I think, therefore, I think about it. I actually have that bumper sticker. I made that bumper sticker recently. I think, therefore, I'm thinking about it. And then it says New Jersey, New Jersey on it. It's it's one of those times when I actually was like the best decision. It was sounded good on paper, but when I actually put it on my car, I got they followed me, man. They were following. They was being followed. My phone was wired, or I was just I don't know. I think they're still after me. And by them, I don't even know who I'm referring to. I'm just talking. Mm-hmm. That happens to me all the time. Stars are always poking my eyes out, and I don't know why. It's like I've never done anything but admire the damn things. Anyways, I wish you all a wonderful evening. I hope you find a little bit of some happiness for you and yours, or just cozy and comfortable and safe wherever you are in the world. Everything's effed up. It's effed up for everybody. Some people feel like they're winning, but they're not. And some people have never even known the feeling of winning. And there's everything in between. And I think we all matter. We're all reflections of each other. And we all get to witness everything. Get to experience this life. It's special. And I wish that, I hope that magic finds you and happiness finds you, even if it's just for a while. So be safe, be crazy, be creative. Why not? Thank you, Latte. And thank you, everybody. Petra, you take care now. Thank you for the support. And yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy times. To be honest, I'm surprised we're not in like a World War III yet. It's just I'm surprised that just hasn't happened. Like they haven't just launched the frickin' nukes and stuff. And that people often think, you know, that that kind of stuff is like a joke, or that kind of talk is just whatever talk or something. But it's I think it's an absolute possibility in this day and age, and that's just a terrifying thought. And I know that future generations will look back at this time and say, just see how confused it all was. And it was because it does feel like it's a you know it's a there's got to be some kind of shift. There's something's got to give, and there's got to be some kind of shift in all of this. it just can't go on like this forever. And it just makes me sad that people can't think for themselves and make better decisions, not for themselves, but for the future of humanity and themselves. It's hard to ignore, you know. I try to ignore it as much as I possibly can and not talk about it on this channel, but sometimes somebody will say something or I'll think of something and I just want to talk about it. But it's not all the time. But, you know, when it's just like thrown in your face all the time, I'm just talking about the politics of everything, how gross it is, and how all people want to do is argue instead of communicate. And yeah, it's been like that forever to a certain degree, but like I said, it just feels different now. Where you can't even have a conversation with somebody before they label you a this or a that. And all they want to do is categorize you so they can dehumanize you, and it makes it easier for them to hate you. It's just like the oldest obvious trick in the book, and it happens all over, you know. And because of assumptions and stuff too, people assume because somebody's lifestyle is this way that they're this kind of person, and nobody wants to admit failure or admit that they were wrong or that it's possible to change, and it's possible for your even your values to like evolve over time once you get to know people and understand that we're all connected, and the power to change things is with us, with the people, not with them. And that's why they divide us, so they can conquer us. And I'm just sitting back here rooting for humanity to snap out of it and take back control, you know, because they've taken everything now. They've taken it all from us. I remember the 80s. Tipper Gore. All I'm saying is that the great majority of us have a lot in common, and a lot more in common than they act like we don't. Whether it's music or art or literature or just archetypical circumstances and dreams and just the way it is, you know. I mean, I've walked the path with so many different people in my life: gangsters, cowboys, criminals, saints, and everybody's got something to offer. I've walked with people I disagreed with on a lot of things, but I love them like family, you know? It's just, it's unfortunate because when you hate people for no reason, you shut off a bunch of, especially when you do this thing where you like hate groups of people. It's just, you shut yourself off from such a rich life of knowing different kinds of people, because they help you understand who you are even more, you know. You learn who you are by understanding others around you, and just like you can learn a lot about yourself by being alone. And I think there's a time and a place for both. You know, I learned a lot this past year and a half by being absolutely alone where I live, going through some crazy stuff. um when I say that, I just mean like peers. I didn't have many peers down here that I could reach out to. My mom and my aunt and I, you know, take care of each other. They take care of me a lot. So I'm not alone in that regard, you know, but as far as having people to confide in, like friends and stuff like that, you know, I've spent a lot of time alone and learned a lot as well. So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know there's not one answer to rule them all. But I think once you start chipping away at all of this propaganda that we're fed every single day of our fucking lives for the past 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, and if you can go back and just look at how it started and like who's trying to divide you and look who's I always say, in a positive way, look for the people that are helping, like Mr. Rogers said or whatever. Look for the people that are helping because there are people, but also look at the people who are profiting, off of death and destruction and your life essentially. And then it's just sort of obvious who the real enemy is, and you know, it's not me, it's not you. It's a class war now more than ever, and these guys are dividing so many of us, and it's just such a shame. Anyways, on that wonderful optimistic note, thank you, Tube. You're sweet. It's okay to listen to you talk about these issues because you're just talking about exactly what's happening. Well, and I always have to reiterate too that I'm not talking about anything new under the sun. Once you start, another thing about communicating with people, especially people that are different than you, is you realize that even the most different people that you would think have all these different, that are just like totally different breed than you, totally different, creed, whatever the color, they're just the absolute opposite. You guys have the exact same freaking problems. You worry about the same things. You want the same things. Like that, the feeling, that the notion of being special with all of it, but you are, it doesn't diminish that your experience either by admitting that others experience the same as you, or you don't want others, even like if you had a shitty life, I don't want others to do that shitty life like I did, kind of thing. I want, if I had kids, for example, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want them to get hit by us, I'm going to pull them away from the street. As there's some people in this world that say, well, I got hit by a bus, so I'm just gonna let him figure it out for himself and get hit by the. It's like, no, grab the child and pull it away from the bus. you know, as far as just what you would want to do, like how you want to change things, you don't. And it's like weird. Those are the people that claim to be good and godly and shit like that. So, and I remember seeing this stuff as a child with my family. They'd taken me to church all the time, but then they're just kind of like awful people the rest of the time, the rest of the week. And I noticed that really a lot when I was a child because it affected me, like the way I looked at religion and how they all acted like they believed, but they were just awful people, and they were sort of racists. Like my first girlfriend was Mexican, and my mom wouldn't meet her, and I never had her out to my grandparents' house actually. But yeah, it was just weird. I'm like, you're supposed to. And my grandma was like the biggest. Every Sunday, she like taught Sunday school, and my aunts taught Sunday school and stuff, and yeah. So she was like the biggest Christian of them all, but she didn't want to meet my girlfriend because her skin was brown. And so that was when I started realizing how that was a thing. That was when I started. Plus, my stepdad is Mexican, and my sister's Mexican and stuff. So you know, so I like grew up around people. I met some of my really good friends. And so when my family would talk bad about people, you know, it was hard for me to handle, and I took offense to it, but I couldn't really say much about it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Why am I talking about this? I don't know why I'm talking about this. Oh my gosh. Scourge on the heart and soul. But mostly it affects your. Yeah, it's especially when you want to be a good person, or when you see yourself as the good person. You see yourself as a good person, but then one day you realize, oh wait, I'm 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 the I forget what sketch it is. I always think of that sketch where these dudes are dressed up as the Nazis and they're like, "Are we the baddies? Am I the baddie?" That's how it feels because you're like, "Oh wait, I was a freaking asshole in that situation and I did some horrible shit," you know. And then you gotta. It's the hardest thing you can do in this life too is be honest with yourself, and that's when the real change starts coming. When you're honest with yourself, it's like bulldozing, you know, brick walls of memory down or whatever it is. You know, just these layers of lies that you just make up to make yourself always be the good guy in any situation. Oh, well, excuse yourself from any kind of wrongdoing, because people just don't take responsibility anymore either. And I've never really had taking responsibility or even taking the heat for other people, but it's it can be a it can like just being honest with yourself can keep you, you know, grounded, so to speak, and humble. And and it is nice to not be sucked into the rest of the garbage like everybody else, to be an individual and to think differently, not be bothered by the news of the day and like the trends and everything and all the, you know, the violent and stupid propaganda rhetoric crap that's just constantly in social media now and on the news. Everything is just geared and built to hold your thinking into a certain way now, especially with smart TVs and things like that. Um, it's just going to get worse and worse too because these devices, they work against us and they use that anger and that kind of frustration and that, you know, hatred, essentially, this tribal warfare thing that we think, you know, is going on out there and whatever, and they use that against us and it just feeds the beast. And so people just like leave their houses thinking there's this war going on when there's really not a freaking war going on, you know. It's just people, everybody's out there just wanting to go to get some shoes and go to malls and get some art supplies, and nobody's out. It's just so funny how that is and isn't. Hello, your mom. He probably did. He probably said bye, and I wasn't reading it. I think I should go without saying that I do appreciate the company, and I enjoy when people leave good comments and surprise me with their kindness or their intellect. Because I'm a scatterbrain, I'm all over the place, and I think that's okay too, I guess. But anyways, I said I was gonna go like 30 minutes ago. So yeah, this is the second time. Oh, he every time I go on around 7 or whatever or 8, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning in Germany. So I wonder what time it is. I wonder if it's the same time as Australia. That sounds about the same. Because Passer always, he's always um and he's in Thursday right now, and it's 9 o'clock where I live. But I don't know. I could find out what time it is in Australia pretty easily. But I'm guessing it's like 5 or 6 in the morning. I don't know. Anywho, I'm gonna go now because I need to just handle some of these dreams I've been having. I've been having some crazy dreams. Super vivid. Scary when you're on like the side of a cliff. I was on the side of a cliff and just enough to kind of be able to hang on a little bit, but it's like dirt. The side of the cliff is dirt, so you're trying to. I know that if I go to like reach up and climb up, there's a chance that I could just like slide and then slide down way down off this cliff into the ocean. That's the dream I remember having right before I woke up this morning, where I was trying to. I was I had jumped down thinking it was something else, and then realized it and turned around and grabbed on. And I was looking back, and it was just a cliff right behind me, and 100-foot drop down to the ocean, these rocks and shit. and and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking up, at my next. I have to go up like 3 or 4 feet to get up to the surface again, and it's all like this dusty, dirty cliffs. And I know like any wrong move, and I'll just like slide right off. It was just like whoa, you know how that feeling goes in your stomach and it comes up in your chest. Like if you, I'm scared of, to a certain degree. I think everybody is, but I'm pretty. I have the weird issues with heights, and I can like feel when people in movies and stuff are doing weird things off of buildings and cliffs. I get like Cliffhanger. That movie is impossible for me to watch because I I feel it like so scary to me. But yeah, my dreams are like that, very vivid, and I've definitely, in my dreams I've died a lot, quite often, if not every night. I've died in my dream from falling off cliffs or driving off of roads off into the darkness, into cliffs and stuff, into like rivers, into the ocean. So I wonder what I'll dream about tonight. Good day. Wig. How much? How much wig do you have? How much wig do I have? This isn't a wig. Uh-uh. This is actually somebody's hair. This is somebody's. I got this from a dead man right outside the studio door. I think his name was Billy or something. I'm not sure. That's the name tag that it had on his. But yeah, I took the hair right off his head. So it's actually real hair. It's just I'm wearing it. It's just it's no big deal. It is. There's a lot of it though. How much? There's a lot of it. Like 10 feet. If I unraveled the whole thing, there'd probably be like 40 feet. I'm not even lying. It goes on in a braid behind my head, but I don't want to show you. It's boring. Might be due to mental health and whatever. Wait, who? What? Billy? The hair? Um, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm gonna definitely leave now, and I do appreciate the company quite a bit. Thank you for stopping by, and have a wonderful evening. Okay. Yeah, the dreams are probably caused by stress. That's for sure. Plus, I've always had crazy dreams. But yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and I fall asleep listening to some crazy stuff. But yeah, anyways, thanks everybody. You take care now.